Valley New School graduation. I encourage you and invite you to come always, not only to honor the seniors graduating, but also to see your future self. And someday you will make a transformation for your diploma. Rachael came to Valley New School at the beginning of last year, and she was not the same person as she is now. I have seen very few drastic transformations, more so than Rachael. She is involved in service learning on several levels. She decided that she was going to earn her diploma and almost has. And then she picked a topic for her senior project that was about as important as you can get. So thank you for leaning in and supporting Rachael as she teaches us a bit about the cancer journey, what you need to know. Bye.
How many of us lost a loved one or a friend over cancer? Sorry. Sorry. This presentation is a tribute to my grandmother of Vera Fuentes. I lost my grandmother due to breast cancer. My grandma was a role model to me. I'm sorry. When she passed, I was devastated. I will never forget about her and what she has done. The memories we had together, I will never forget. She was the kindest lady you will ever meet. Very caring, and she was a brilliant, very tough lady. She was independent, but you could always count on her. Even though my brother and I were very young, we understood what was going on. But we loved her very dearly and spent every second we could and made it last. Sadly, she passed. I didn't even get to say goodbye to her. So I want to make sure if you have a loved one, you can help them prevent and know what is going on with the type of cancer they have, so you can spend more time with them. I'm doing my senior project on cancer, but it's not just about cancer. It's about other things you need to know, like how to prevent a certain type of cancer and what are the causes. What is the difference between hospice and palliative care, and other types of topics. Cancer is a group of diseases characterized by uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells in the body. Under normal conditions, cells grow, divide, and die in an orderly manner. However, this process is distributed and cells begin to grow uncontrollably, forming a mass called a tumor. Except in blood cells, like leukemia, where there is no solid tumor. These abnormal cells can invade surrounding tissue and spread to other parts of the body throughout the bloodstream or lymphatic system, a process known as metastasis. Cancer can occur in any part of the body and affect wide range of tissue. The exact cause of cancer is not clear, but it can be influenced by genetic mutations, environmental exposure such as smoking, radiation, or chemicals, infections, and lifestyle factors such as diet, physical activity. The cancers you see on the screen is the ones I look deeply into. Carcinoma. Carcinoma are generally classified into two main types: adenocarcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma. Adenocarcinoma, this type of carcinoma originates in the Gallagher gland cells, which are responsible for secret fluids like mucus. It occurs in organs such as breast, colon, prostate, and pancreas. Squamous cell carcinoma. This type begins in the squamous cell, which are flat cells found in the outer layer of the skin and lining of the organs like lungs, esophagus, and cervix. Carcinoma often develop slowly and can be either in situ, localized and confined into the area where they originated, or invasive, spreading around the tissue or other parts of the body. Early detection and treatment are crucial for better outcomes, and treatment options can include surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, targeted therapy, immunotherapy, depending on the specific type and stage of the carcinoma. Sarcomas. Sarcomas are less common than carcinoma and typically classified into two main categories: soft tissue and bone sarcomas. These develop in soft tissues of the body such as muscle, fat, blood vessels, tendons, and ligaments. Bone sarcomas, these develop in bones including conditions like osteosarcoma, which often occurs in children and young adults, and chondrosarcoma, which affects cartilage. Sarcoma can occur in almost any part of the body, and symptoms depending on the type of location of the cancer. Common signs may include pain, swelling, a lump in an infected area. Treatment for sarcoma often involves surgery to remove a tumor, along with chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and sometimes targeted therapy. Depending on the type of sarcoma and its stage, early detection and diagnosis are important for improving outcomes. Approximately 12,000 cases diagnosed annually in the U.S., more common in adults. And in bone sarcoma, there are approximately 3,000 cases diagnosed annually in the U.S., more in children and young adults. Melanoma is considered one of the most aggressive forms of cancer because of its potential spread, metastasize to other parts of the body. If not detected and treated early, the main risk factor of melanoma is excessive exposure to ultraviolet (UV) radiation from the sun and tanning beds, which damage the DNA and skin cells. Melanoma often appears as a new mole or changes in an existing mole, which may have an irregular shape or uneven color or a larger size. The ABCDE rule is a useful guideline for recognizing warning signs. A for symmetry, B for border irregularity, C for coloration variation, D for diameter larger than 6 millimeters, E for evolving or changing over time. Did you know that there's 4 different types of thyroid cancer out in the world? Polyp thyroid cancer, the most common type, grows slowly but can spread to lymph nodes. Follicular thyroid cancer, less common but can spread to the lungs and bones. Medullary thyroid cancer, a rare type that may be hereditary and linked to genetic mutations. Anaplastic thyroid cancer, a very aggressive and rare form that spreads quickly. The question is there new or any advanced treatment in the world? And the answer is yes. There are new therapies and drug developments in cancer treatment and continuously evolving over the past decade. Significantly, advancements have been made in the understanding of cancer biology, leading the development in novel therapies that are more effective and less toxic than traditional treatments like chemotherapy and radiation. Here are some of the most promising and cutting-edge therapies drug development for cancer. I'll name just a few. Immunotherapy harnesses the power of the body immune system to the fight of cancer. Several new immunotherapies have been developed in recent years, and they have shown great promises in the treating that were previously difficult to treat. Targeted therapy are drugs that target specific molecules or genes involved in cancer growth and spread. These drugs are designed to interfere with specific molecules in the cancer cell that are responsible for cancer's growth and survival. Tumor Treating Fields, TTF, is a non-invasive treatment that uses electric fields to disturb cancer cell divisions, inhibiting the growth of tumors that is preliminary to use for the type of brain cancer, but is being explored to other cancers as well. One of the new treatment options that really impressed me is cold cap therapy. Here's a video to explain.
When it comes to the winning internet, TDS delivers the green and gold standard, 100% fiber and
October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and all this week we are featuring stories related to the detection, treatment, and fight against the disease. Tonight we show you how new technology is allowing patients to avoid one of the most common effects of treatment, hair loss. NBC 26 News with Rachael is here to explain. Oh, Suzanne Blumhoff.
Does this bring back memories?
This blue hat called Cold Cap saved her hair during for more than a decade, and Blumhoff was the first to try it here. Experts say it can be used for all types of cancer, but it's more effective on people taking certain types of drugs.
It's a gel-filled cap that's kept in dry ice, so they will have to have a partner with them, their capper, as we call it, to help them put the cap on and off.
ThedaCare has been using these cold caps since March, and studies show that at least 70% of patients can keep nearly all to half of their hair.
I have the caps on a total of 8 hours each treatment. So they're extremely cold. My caps were minus 32 degrees.
During treatments, Blumhoff says it's important to have a support system there because one person can't do it all.
Someone is massaging and spreading the gel out.
Someone else also has to help put the cap on and change it out every half hour to keep the temperature cool.
It gets tiring because the caps do, I don't know how much the caps weigh, but it makes your neck tired.
Blumhoff had her last chemotherapy treatment in May. She's now cancer-free. Keeping you connected in Appleton, Rachael, NBC 26. On Friday,
Okay. Hospice and palliative care. We're all going to pass away one way or another, so I took into doing research in hospice and palliative care and what are the differences for. Palliative care improves quality of life for patients and caregivers, includes symptoms management and care coordination. It is available at any age and at any stage of serious illness. It incorporates patient goals and values. And moving on to hospice care, hospice care focus on comfort and quality of life when curative treatments are no longer pursued for patients with terminal illness and life expectancy of 6 months or less. It features comprehensive comfort, care for patients, and support for the family. It stops curative treatments but emphasizes symptoms and emotional management, often underutilized or started too late, provide full benefits. Cause and prevention. You might be wondering, what is the cause of any type of cancer, and how could I prevent it by stopping these types of habits? Smoking or using tobacco products increase the risk of carcinoma, such as lung, mouth, throat, upper digestive tract, bladder, and kidney cancer. Excessive alcohol intake is linked into the carcinoma of the liver, throat, esophagus, breast, colon, and colon. Being overweight or obese increase the risk of breast, colon, upper digestive tract, and kidney carcinoma. High-fat diets and processed foods contribute to the risk. How to prevent it? Maintain a healthy diet, avoid tobacco, limit alcohol, protect yourself from UV radiation, reduce exposure and carcinogens and chemicals. Get regular screenings and regular screenings for breast, cervical, colon, and prostate cancers that detect before they become serious. Now for this project, I've been working with the Cancer Center. I've had live source meetings. I also will be volunteering at the Cancer Center. When I was taking a tour with the director, Lydia Ryan, we stopped right next to the room that got me interested. It was a cosmetology room, but it isn't your ordinary beauty room. This is where patients come to get fitted for wigs and fake breasts. They also go through surgery. After they go through surgery. I fell in love with this program, so I decided to get an interview with the owner. Her name is Lisa Kellenheiser. I did a job shadow with her, and I fell in love with the work she does. So see, Lisa's the only lady in Wisconsin that does what she does. The sad part is, the patient's insurance doesn't cover it. In my opinion, that's not okay. This is a need for women and men. She loaned me a wig. Unfortunately, the first one disappeared, so she gave me a second one. She was very understanding of what happened. As I said, I will be volunteering at the cancer center. I will be helping out patients and doctors and nurses. That's Lisa, the lady putting the cold cap on. Live source meets. I recently had interviews with 4 different people, but one interview that stuck out with me was Elena's mother. She is a cancer survivor. She is diagnosed with 3 types of cancer, 3 types of basal cell carcinoma, and had melanoma while pregnant. The 2 things she said to me that really stuck with me when I asked her these questions, the first question I asked her is, for lessons and advice, what advice would you give someone just being diagnosed with any type of cancer? She replied, to feel what you're feeling. People will tell you, oh, it's not a big deal, that's not a bad one, but it's a shock. It's a shock to anybody. You're feeling, to feel what you're feeling. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be mad, but don't give up. And it's really easy to say don't give up. It's really hard to not just crawl in a hole and just cry. But if anything, feel what you're feeling. Do whatever you need to do. If it's go yell, go find a pillow and yell. If it's go cry again, go cry again. But then research, figure out what it is and fight it, because you might beat the odds. I have 8 different surgeries of cancer, and I have 9 preventatives that have been, like, it's just starting to change over. I've had a lot. The second question I asked her was, how did your perspective on life change after experiencing cancer? She replied, probably just enjoying joy. You find those little moments of happiness, whether it's a good nap, whether if it's your Diet Coke, whether if it's whatever. But just don't take life for granted. Life is really short and it's hard enough. Just getting up and dealing with everyday stressors, that when it comes to cancer too, just to find joy. The easy stuff or the hard stuff that you accomplish, find joy. I also had an interview with my mother and grandmother about their cancer experience. After this, I applied to the Fox Valley Technical College cosmetology program and want to work with Lisa and other cancer patients. I'm a recipient of the Data Care Volunteer Scholarship. That's my scholarship. And for the last part, I just want to say I'm very proud of myself. I came a long way from a different type of education. Freshman year, I thought I wasn't going to see graduation. Sorry. It wasn't in my vocabulary. Back then, I went from fighting to stealing to running away, going on an ankle monitor, and having my family worried, to getting a scholarship and getting into college, and also getting to graduate and controlling my emotions. I made a very good friend who supports me in anything, and I would like to thank her and her family for taking me in as another child. I would like to thank everyone for showing up to my presentation and supporting me. I use Google Docs and Microsoft OneNote for notes. I couldn't do handwritten notes because it would give me a cramp in my hand. And just thank you for coming and supporting me, everyone. Questions? Isaac?
Is there anything you would change about either the project or like just getting here?
I would have done a different project. It was how social media affects teens, but I decided to do a more harsher type of subject. Miss Lukey?
You have a plan to volunteer at the Cancer Center throughout the summer, right? I think a total of 30 hours in the program. And you recently attended an orientation, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What sort of training do they give you
Being moral support for them, talking them through it, feeding them mostly, giving them hot blankets, because when chemotherapy goes through your body, you get cold. So we do hot blankets. We could sit there with them if they don't have anyone and just talk to them, talk through it. I've done it to 2 people already and a little girl who has cancer. So Isaac.
Once you like get into or get through college and graduate, what's your hope for after college?
After college, I want to work with Lisa, obviously, at the cancer center, and just be her accomplice, I guess. Apprentice, yes, apprentice. Sorry, accomplice, apprentice, and help her out, because she is the only lady in Wisconsin. She does have to travel to different homes to do this for patients. And then after that, I would want to retire and just say I did cancer. Help cancer patients. Tegan?
This is more like a Monday morning hot seat question.
That's fine.
What's your favorite VNS memory?
There's a lot of memories I have here. I can't really name one. I say they were all my favorite. I say, okay, this is a little inappropriate, but me, Jack, and Tegan were all looking at Mr. Wallace. It was his last day. And he's asking, why are we looking at him? And we said, you look stressed. And he was like, I'm not stressed. It's just you kids stress me out. I'm like, so you're stressed then? He's like, yes, I am. I'm like, well, you're moving soon. He's like, yeah, but I gotta do more kids. I'm like, well, just retire. He's like, I can't. I got so many years left in me. I'm like, it's okay. Just breathe. So, Kira, I know you had your hand up.
What was your favorite project you've done?
My favorite project I have done, I would say my Al Capone and my Abraham Lincoln, because I got to go with my dad multiple times. We went to Springfield for not for Al Capone, for Abraham Lincoln. And then we also went to Gettysburg for the Battle of Gettysburg. We learned about some stuff there. And then Al Capone, we got to go explore Chicago. And he showed me some really cool places. And we got to go see his grave, which is really cool. Max?
Advice for future seniors?
Be prepared. Know what topic you want to really do. I say junior year, think about it and know what you really want to do, because you will get bored with this project. I have gotten bored with this project for a while, and it took me a few weeks to get back up and start it again. But be passionate about your topic you're doing. Ms. Fornes?
What was the most challenging part of coming to VNS?
Thinking I wouldn't get accepted by the other students. So, yeah. Ms. Lukey?
Back to the cancer thing. Where do we stand in the fight for the cure? How close are we, or how far are we from the cure for cancer?
In my opinion, I say we're kind of close, but not really, because they're coming out with all these new technology and advancements and drugs. We're close, but we're far. So, that's all I got. Oh, Milo.
Favorite and least favorite part of this project?
Favorite part was making the slideshow and getting pictures of my grandmother. Least favorite was writing my essay and my EOPA. Ms. Flores?
So between like smoking and vaping, is there a difference of like one being more harmful or cancer causing? Did you research that?
No, I did not, but I think it's both the same, but vaping's a little harsher because the product that you're buying, the machine makes it go straight to your lungs. It hits the back of your throat and it hits your lungs really harsh. Dad?
How would you know that, by reading or is that personal experience?
If I'm gonna be honest, personal experience, I used to. Yes, I used to.
So you don't do it no more?
No, I do not. I was a personal vapor. I vaped. And also researching throughout this project.
So you know what not to do, right?
Yes.
Good job.
Any other questions? Ms. K?
Kind of was where I was going with my questions. I was wondering if your research had, made you think about, like, are there things you've changed in your life or the things you are encouraging other people to do now after doing your research?
Yes, I encourage young teens not to vape. Because you will be out of breath when you run or speed walk or just do curricular activities. You will be out of breath and it will suck and you will need an inhaler. So I advise young ones not to do it. Okay, Milo, just let it out.
I have a question.
Okay, Milo.
What do you think of Joe Biden having prostate cancer?
I know, my brother just told me this morning. He's gonna go one way or another.
Yeah, but did you research about like mortality rates in older age prostate cancer?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I got your
No,
hopes
no,
up.
no.
Tegan?
What are you gonna miss the most from high school?
Seeing my younger friends. Won't be able to, I'll be busy in college. So I won't, sorry, Kira. Miss Lukey?
What academic skills, like off the rubric or something, did you develop the most in your time?
I would say service and wellness and now literature. Jack?
Do you think cancer is more popular nowadays or like back then?
I think cancer is more popular now because of all the devices we have that will give us cancer than back then. Other questions? Corbin?
Is cancer hereditary?
Yes. Sorry. Jack?
Do you know if hereditary?
Kind of. If you put it in small words and not in big words, yeah. It's genetics, technically. Oh, Tegan.
What do you think happened to your last phone?
I think it got stolen by the cleaning lady. If you want me to be really honest, someone, I don't know, selling it off of eBay. Probably if you needed it for your own personal use. I don't know what happened to it. All I know is it went missing and I'm really sad. But Lisa was very understanding and she gave me a new wig. So. Max?
It's not a question, but shout out to Lisa, guys.
Shout out to Lisa at Data Care. Miss K?
You can tell me if this is too hard of a question for you right now, but after doing this project and your research, do you have new insight about what your grandma went through or what family went through as she was going through her journey?
All I know is she had breast cancer. We were very young when this happened and when she passed, so that's all I remember. She did have a vasectomy or something. She did have one of her breasts cut off. And I asked her, what happened? And she said, my boobie got cut off. I said, how? She used to make a joke, say one of the family members did it, or it fell off. I'm like, okay, and I just went with it because it scared me. So I was like, okay. So, Elena. Yes, I enjoyed the interview very much. She came very prepared. She gave me papers of the cancer she had, and I was like, I did not expect that. But she was very prepared and very open, and I really appreciate it. Okay. I guess that's it. Oh, sorry, Milo.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna bring this one back from Sim. What is one thing you'll be remembered for when you die? Sorry.
That I was an open person, and I told it how it is. That's the thing. I don't sugarcoat. I tell it how it is. That is one thing.